Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fieldweight campaign. In the last episode, the three gentlemen, maybe, decided to search Amanda's apartment and rip it apart. Nets and Bomber got into a fist fight, which ended when Bomber smote Nets. I think smite is the best word. When Bomber smited Nets across the back of the skull and knocked him unconscious.
With a drawer.
With a drawer. Possibly an underwear drawer. We're not sure which drawer specifically it was. Basically, what resulted was 45 minutes of three male voices yelling and throwing furniture around in a young single woman's apartment, which resulted in the other residents of the building calling the police. 6 Drasny enforcers turned up and arrested the 3 gentlemen in question.
6 of them. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, required 6 people to break you guys up. Technically 7, but
Okay, let me say this. I was reacting to him constantly trying to be an asshole and hit me. He started that entire fight in the bedroom. I finished it.
Gentlemen.
and then you guys got arrested.
Yes, but I won.
Like,
Who cares?
I am taking this particular section as being Bomber and Snarbly Wolf discussing this in the back of a car on the way to the police station.
Entirely.
Like, basically, the police come and arrest you, and you've both got injuries on you, and you're sitting in the back of the police car going, "It was his fault. He was the one who started the fight." Like, it's like,
He swung at me first. I was defending myself. It's not my fault that he has no control over himself.
If we really want to talk about who came first, then it was yourself trying to headbutt the door in and failing.
okay.
I wanted answers. You were evading them. She was evading them. I wanted in.
But anyway, let's continue.
So,
yeah.
On the way to the police station, one of the Drasny enforcers, who is listening with great delight to the conversation of the 3 gentlemen that he has in the back of his van, just kind of looks at one of the other Drasny enforcers in the van and goes, "Why always with the fucking nutters? Every fucking shift."
Listen, sir, I'm really sorry about the actions of these 2 people.
Oh my god.
The guy in the wooden mask, just sitting back quietly, is like, "I'm very sorry about these guys' actions."
He's our tard guard.
Tard guard.
Really?
That's what you are.
That's the name you give me?
Oh,
I mean, you
man.
guard the tards. You guard
I
the
stand
tards.
in between them for the rest of this time.
Well, sit in between them. So you guys arrive at the Drasny sort of local precinct station. It's a rather unpleasant concrete box, and you get carted up into the station, and you get sat in what are called the waiting cells. And the waiting cells are approximately 2 foot wide and sort of 3 foot long, and they have a chair in the middle of them, which is bolted to the floor. And the chair has some sort of quite easily understood little loops or sort of like rings of metal welded to it, which is where they would chain people if necessary. And each of you is dropped into your own little waiting pod or waiting cell. The cells are made out of bars, and you're all next to each other, so you can converse and talk. Meanwhile, the Drasny officers who have arrested you disappear off behind or through a door, possibly to go and do paperwork.
All right, guys. So, how have you guys been?
I'm gonna sit in the corner of the cell, sit and do nothing until anything. I'm just gonna do nothing now. I'm in jail. I'm not causing shit.
I look around the room.
He's like,
I mean,
"Oh no, if somebody finds my space cocaine, I'm screwed."
Nope. It's jail. I don't want to deal with this shit.
I look around my cell.
Playing it safe.
Okay, so your cell, your waiting cell, which is where they put people originally, is basically just a blank room with a chair bolted to the floor, and bars around it. That's literally it. Concrete floor, bars of the walls, bars of the front, bars of the back.
So it's basically just four. It's just basically so I could basically reach out of the bars, and technically, if Nets was leaning against the bars, I can technically grab him then.
Yes, you could.
Oh, okay. Then that's odd.
You planning on strangling me in prison?
Yeah.
No, I'm not actually gonna do it. No, I'm just wondering what exactly is the surrounding, because I actually never seen that.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so basically, a waiting cell. A waiting cell is a small cell that they have multiple cells of, usually in kind of sort of high risk areas. They're very, very simple. They're not just used for long-term containment. They are literally just a place to put people. They're sometimes called cool-off cells or coolers or things like that. And basically, when people are arrested and they are loud or noisy, they just tend to get just dropped in one and left there for a few hours until they calm down. In this particular part of the slums, they just happen to leave you there for sort of your first half an hour in the prison, or first half an hour in the police station, just to basically keep you somewhere convenient and where you can't really do anything.
I pass the time by just looking up at the ceiling and thinking to myself,
"Wow, that is thinking."
So, is there anyone else inside it besides us three? Is there anyone else inside the cell?
There are indeed. You have basically there are 8 of these waiting cells in little 2 rows of 4. The 3 of you are in 3 cells of one particular row. Across the way from you, in the next row over, there is a young woman who has got very sort of slim down face, very gaunt expression, quite pale skin, wearing some reasonably revealing clothing, and one cell separated from her, there is a young man wearing sort of generic kind of preppy clothing, who has a split lip and is sort of slumped in his little metal chair, looking a little bit disconsolate for himself.
All right then. I whisper over to Nets. Actually, no. I whisper over to Bomber first.
Okay.
So, you see what your our little fight has taken us?
Okay, I am not retarded. I am retarded, I will admit.
Listen, I don't care who started it or anything like that. We'll settle that after everything's over, and maybe if we something like that. But
next time he does it or does something stupid, it will be the last time he does it.
So I don't want you to fight. I don't want you to fight him anymore. All right?
I'm not doing it anymore.
Good.
Not
if I don't
anymore.
Because if you do, I've got a crowbar and a hatchet with your name on it. I go over to Nets and I basically had the similar discussion. Nets. Listen, I don't care who started it, but our actions have just landed us in jail. So I'll let you know this right now. If you and Bomber start a fight again and try to kill you and try to kill each other, then I've got a crowbar and a hatchet with both your names on it, right?
At this point, I just start laughing hysterically.
No, I'm not kidding either.
I know.
I don't know where we're going.
That's the hilarious thing. Is like you're like super serious, and we're sitting in prison, and you just threaten to kill me with a hatchet. I find this very amusing. Like, really, this is the place where you're going to threaten to kill me when we're already in prison.
I mean, chances are we're going to escape sometime.
Oh, man.
They make that my eyes are on you kind of look. Hand gesture. So I look over to the what I do is I basically sit in the where's the chair at anyway? Is that like at one of the sides of the cell or something?
Well, basically, it's just like in these cells here.
It's, all right.
Yeah, they're literally just little pod cells, waiting cells.
So I can't just sitting on the floor or something.
You could sit on the. There's probably enough space for you to slip down beside the chair and sit on the floor if you want.
You know what? I'm probably not gonna do that. I'm gonna sit in the chair. I'm gonna sit in the chair and think of a way to get out, or think of what might happen.
Okay, so probably about 20, 25 minutes pass, and a Draznine force comes out with this gentleman as well. Actually, no, sorry, wrong picture. Whoops. Why did I use that picture? I didn't mean to use that picture. I meant to use...
Oh, hey, this guy. How's it going, this guy?
I didn't mean to use that guy, because that guy's a guy I've already used for something else.
Yeah.
Whoops. I have so many pictures of just random tough-looking people.
Let me guess. We're using tough picture number 91.
Don't be silly, Vagabond. It's number 32.
Number 69.
No. Then we all have to be swooned by him.
That's a possibility with
There's
my
a reason why we
character,
don't
let's
use
be
number
honest.
69.
It's a possibility knowing Bomber, though, dude.
There we go.
I mean, dude's gonna shit on somebody's day.
Why does this guy look like a guy failing to cosplay as Spike Spiegel?
Oh, you vagabond, you douche. You complete another douche, because now I can't even see it.
He's like a mix. I'm serious. He's like a mix between a Payday character, Spike Spiegel, and I'm trying to remember where the head's from. Anyway,
Oh, I can't draw
so-
right now, or at least not on the thingy majigger. Damn it.
I can. I don't know why you can't.
No, on the
But anyway,
Yeah,
continuing
I can
onward.
as well. I can too.
Oh, now I see it.
No, I'm not on my end. I was gonna draw Spike's hair on him, but never mind. Let's just keep on going.
Okay, so this guy comes out with a couple of enforcers, and he sort of scoops up probably Bomber first, considering what has been said and done. And you get taken off to a pretty plain room, a metal table, a couple of metal chairs, a metal chair on the opposite side of the table. One of the enforcers stands in the corner, and one of the enforcers sits across from you, and this gentleman sits across from you. He goes, "Right. So where's the girl?"
That's what I'd like to know too. I have no idea. She was in the apartment with my, I want to say, acquaintance, not friend, in the other room, and then she was gone. I went looking for her, but I don't know. She disappeared from her room. I have no idea.
So, what you want me to believe is that you and the other two, shall we say, idiots,
That's an apt description of us, yes.
are essentially robbing a woman's apartment, and her neighbors say that she hasn't left all day, and she's not there, and you want me to believe that she vanishes.
I wasn't robbing her apartment. I wasn't stealing anything. I was looking for something.
Right.
That
So, do you normally look in women's apartments with two people with a knife in your back pocket, and with a guy with a hatchet and a crowbar and throwing drawers, and your story doesn't add up? There was a woman in that apartment. Her neighbor tells me she came home last night. She hasn't left.
there was a woman in that apartment. Her name was
Where?
Amanda, as far as I know. Then I had information from an acquaintance of mine that her name was Sandra and that she was a spy. I was trying to find out because I don't want something to happen to my job. I like my job. I wanted to find out information because my friend's interested in her. I'm pissed about this. I want to get them all this. Just please. I've told you all I can. I've told you all I know.
The guy's face has always been grim, but now a vein on the side of his head starts to pulse. He goes, He's either high or he's too stupid for his own good. Go throw him in a cell till he sobers. And one of the Drazni enforcers comes in and hoiks you out of your seat and takes you off to a slightly nicer cell. It's got a bed and a toilet.
Yay.
And a solid door and, you know, a window with bars. Pretty. The bed is basically a concrete shelf that is part of the wall, and it has a extremely thin plastic mattress on top of it. So it's going to be comfortable. Meanwhile, the guy comes out and scoops up Snarly Wolf.
Oh no.
And takes Snarly Wolf to the same room, metal table, 2 chairs on one side, 1 chair on the other, enforcer in the corner, enforcer and this guy sitting across from you. And the enforcer in the corner sort of steps towards you, and the guy leans forward and goes, "Right, first off, lose the mask."
I take off the mask. And I put it on.
Excellent. So, where's the girl?
I had never seen a girl in that apartment.
Right. So,
You know,
The
he's
name
not
tells
wrong either.
no, he's not. He's telling the truth. The neighbor tells me that the woman who lives there came home last night, and she hasn't left since. Now, my boys turn up to a disturbance, and they find you and your friends in the apartment, trashing the place, with the girl nowhere to be seen. Now, I know from the apartment block cameras that girl never left through the front door. Where's the girl?
So wait, if she didn't leave through the front door, then she could have just. I pull up my hands and I'm trying to. I'm like looking like I'm counting or something. I'm sort of. So what? She could have just left outside some of the windows then. Were there any open windows at the crime scene? I didn't notice. And I'm saying this in like some sort of oh shit, I forgot about it sort of thing.
Oh, we have a smart one. Right now, what I've got you for is I've got you for criminal damage, breaking and entering, and suspected theft. I'm also thinking about looking at you for kidnapping. Possibly even worse. So tell me, in your own words then, let's see how smart you are. What happened?
All right then. So the guy who came in before, you brought in like before, we'll call him Joe. And the guy was. So I went up the apartment building with him. And,
You aren't even gonna tell him
Joe,
people's names? You're making up false names now?
So Joe was like banging on the front door of that apartment and stuff. So it had gotten louder. I feel like I probably shouldn't have done something about that, but so in comes the guy you haven't brought in yet. We'll call him Nets, and he comes in completely naked, and I don't know what he was doing in there. I'll be real honest, but before you know, the door was closed. So then Joe ran back down to the front door, and he told me to just stay in the corridor. So I did, and then Nets actually called out to me, and he invited me inside. Again, there was no girl in there at all, and before I knew it, Joe and Nets just started fighting. Like Joe took out the what was it, the thing. I forgot what it was called. The drawer, and he just whacked it across Nets' face. So then we put him on top of the girl's bed. Again, there was no girl in the apartment. I looked around to see either if there was a girl or what sort of if there's anything being hidden. There was nothing except for maybe like these two clamps on these on under one of the drawers. But other than that, there was nothing. So when Nets woke up, they just continued fighting. I tried to get them to stop. Be real serious, and then you guys showed up.
I see.
So I'm sorry, sir, but that's all I know.
So let's rewind for a second.
Okay.
Let's go back. You say that you followed this Joe to the apartment.
Correct.
And he was knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm.
So this brings a question. Like, in fact, it brings several. But let's start with the simple one. Why was Joe knocking on the door?
Never told me. He just told me to follow him.
So you know Joe.
Yeah, I know Joe for quite a bit.
Okay. So Joe tells you to follow him, and you follow him to this apartment. And he starts banging on the door. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Banging on the door.
And
then,
then a little bit later on, you're inside the apartment, and you're looking through this person's drawers. So, how exactly do I not arrest you and charge you with breaking, entering, and theft?
I'm sorry, repeat the question. How exactly do
I not charge you with breaking, entering, and theft? Because what you've told me is you and Joe go to an apartment that you've never been to before, and you don't know why you're there. And Joe's banging on the door and trying to get in. And then you get in and you start rummaging around this person's belongings. Do you know the person who lives in the apartment?
I think I do. I believe it was the girlfriend of Nets, the guy you haven't brought in yet.
Right. So this girl's supposedly Net's girlfriend.
Yeah. Last time I checked.
I see. And how exactly do you know Nets?
I believe us three are we're friends for quite a bit, actually.
Okay, so you three are friends, and one of you's in this apartment, and the other two turn up.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know why Joe's banging on this door, but your friend's in there and he won't open the door to you.
Yeah, it's.
I'm sorry, but there's something about this story that just isn't making sense.
What's the part that's not making sense?
Snarly Wolf, I love and despise you.
No, I actually want to make sure though that the part that's making sense is.
Okay, so if your friend's in the apartment, why are you locked outside? And if your friend's in the apartment, why is it you don't know why you went there?
Why I went inside? He invited me inside though. Or were you talking about the other time that
Throb.
I have to go pee or I'm gonna die here. This is killing me. I love you guys so much.
Am I accidentally angering this person? I actually genuinely don't want to anger this guy.
I know you genuinely don't want to anger this guy, but from his perspective, like, you are telling a story that legitimately, like, if you go back and watch the video, you will notice your story makes no fucking sense.
Wait, there's video footage of this?
Oh, we're recording it right now.
No, you're not recording this. You're still in the cell. Oh wait, I get what you mean now.
I love you, Vagabond.
He was so deeply embedded in Snarly Wolf he couldn't get out again.
Oh.
Okay, so the officer just kind of shakes his head and stands up and leaves the room. And this time around, rather than being taken to a cell, Vagabond's just left in the interrogation room, and the two Drasny enforcers walk out and lock the door. And he's left in the interrogation room.
Oh jeez, I hope I didn't do anything wrong.
So this guy and the two enforcers come and collect Nets, and they take him to a new interrogation room. But being an interrogation room, it's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
It has a window with bars across it.
So before we get too far into my interrogation here.
Yep.
The equipment that I have for recording, is it legal in the current aspect of the area we're in, or is it frowned upon its use?
That's two separate questions. Is it legal? Technically, there is nothing legal about having a kangaroo pouch, and technically, there is nothing illegal about having recording equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Is it frowned upon its use? Well, in a fucking police station, yes. Especially if you're going to be doing it surreptitiously.
Okay.
Pretty much no police officer likes to be recorded without their knowledge that they're being recorded. But then again, no human being likes that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this guy comes and collects Nets and takes Nets off to a separate interrogation room. And he sits Nets down across from him. He says, "So, you're Nets."
Well, that's what they call me anyway.
Right. I've just had a chat with your two friends. And I'm having a little bit of trouble.
With those two guys, I don't doubt it.
Right. You see, right now, I have 3 guys that I'm going to be charging with breaking and entering, criminal damage, attempted theft. But I have an issue. You see, in the apartment building, the neighbor tells me the woman came home last night and she hasn't left since. And the cameras tell me she hasn't left. But there's no girl. My guys turn up and they arrest you 3, trashing an apartment in which there's supposed to be a young woman, and there's no girl. That makes me worried, you see, because I'm kind of concerned for her well-being. So why don't you help me find out she's okay? And that'll help you. Because then I won't have to add kidnap or, anything worse to the charges.
Well, finding out she's okay would definitely help me. And as to clear up some of these issues, how about you listen to what she had to say? And I produced the kangaroo pouch.
Okay, so
Just
you're
like
going
slap. There you go.
Oh,
Screw
God.
you. Here's my evidence.
to. Okay. So first off, the guy stands up and sort of walks over to one of the Drazni enforcers and has a quiet word with one of the Drazni enforcers in the room.
Does the enforcer get slapped because he didn't notice my kangaroo pouch when they brought me in?
No, just has a quiet word with him. And he comes back and he goes, okay, so you say this is the woman's a recording of the woman.
That's a recording of her, of me, of whatever happened after that idiot slapped me upside the face with a drawer. Yeah, it's recordings.
I see. And you just happen to be recording your encounter with this woman.
Well, see, I bought myself a new toy. I had to try it somehow.
Right. A new toy that you just happen to keep in a concealed pouch.
Well,
Am I in the same room as them?
No.
Nope, you're not. You're separate.
So is there like a desk between us?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Am I tied down yet or no?
Nope.
Okay. So I bring my arms up, kind of clasp my hands together with my elbows on the desk. Like, well, the pouch is a bit of a surprise. Because some, encounters can be quite kinky out of context. And this was to be a surprise for a little special lady.
Vein on his forehead just throb, 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 throb. Right. I see.
Although this
So-
not being one of those conversations, because this one's just, yeah. It's interesting, but that not that kind of interesting.
I think you need to have a little sit down somewhere while I have a little look into what's going on.
Well, I lean back in the chair.
And
It's like, well, I'm sitting.
throb, throb, throb.
Yeah, but I'm Nets, so I had to.
The guy raises his hand and just clicks his fingers, and the two drowsy enforcers walk over and hoik you out of the chair by your shoulders and take you to a cell very similar to Bomber's cell. Concrete bed, thin mat, toilet, etc., etc.
Yay, at
Okay.
least I got a bed. Wolfman didn't get a bed. He's just in a hard chair with a table.
So the investigator comes back to Snarby Wolf's interrogation room, and two drowsy enforcers come in with him. And he sits down across from Snarby Wolf, and he goes, "Right. So you seem to be the only one who actually managed to book sense to me. So let's."
Wow.
Sorry, the guy with the wooden mask and the axe is the one that makes sense.
Can we say that Nets heard that? Nets heard that.
Nets heard that as he was being dragged across the corridor to go be put in a cell.
That's amazing. On every bloody level. God damn.
I did it, guys. I'd like to thank the Academy.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh.
By the way, just for the players and for the people watching as well, just a little bit of kind of like this guy's thought process. Basically, this guy is a senior investigator, and he's been given this situation where basically a woman has disappeared and three men were found raiding her apartment, and he's walked into what in his mind is essentially Dumb, Dumb and Dumber, or Dumb, Dumber and Dumbest.
Wait, who's dumbest? Who's
Dumb,
dumbest?
Dumber, and Dumberer.
Yeah, Dumb, Dumber and Dumberer.
Oh.
And he's already got a headache. He's been working this case now for about 25 minutes, and he's already got a headache. So goes,
The worst part is we're all telling him 100% truth.
yes, you are, but you're doing it in such a nonsensical way. And the great thing is, like, he has a reasonably good sense motive check, so he knows he's quite good at telling when people lie. And like, you're all telling him slightly conflicting, slightly nonsensical versions of the truth. And as far as he can tell, you're all telling the truth.
So he's confused himself and pissed himself off the fact that he still can't figure out what's going on. That's amazing.
So he's like, I mean, Snarby Wolf's story was just the icing on the cake, because Snarby Wolf follows this guy to a door, and the guy's knocking on the door, and Snarby Wolf doesn't know why. But Snarby Wolf is friends with the guy who followed the door, and friends with the guy who's in the apartment, who he knew was in the apartment. It's like, wait, what?
Oh, this is amazing.
Okay. So he says to Snarby Wolf, "You're the only one who's managed to talk sense, or at least the least nonsense. Right. Let's go back to the beginning, Mr.
You can just call me Wolf or Wolfie or something like that, sir. Officer.
Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf. Christ. Right, Mr. Wolf. From the beginning again, you know Joe.
Yeah.
And you know Nets.
Yes.
And Joe tells you to follow him, and you follow him, and you arrive at an apartment building, and you go inside, and you're banging on the door.
Yes.
Did you know Nets was there?
Yes, according to Joe, he did tell me Nets was there.
Right. So, You say previously that you didn't know why Joe was banging on the door.
Forgotten about that. Sorry about that, officer.
So, if you didn't know why he was banging on the door, but you knew your friend was there, I'm sorry, but I'm starting to get a bit confused by your tale. So, let's put that one aside for now.
All right then.
Then
Wait,
you tell
I know
me...
the what, but not the why.
Okay. So, the next thing you tell me is Nets opens the door naked.
Yes, Nets opened the door.
I see. And what happened then?
So, he told me to look around and such. That's when Joe came in and started arguing and then beat the crap out of each other.
So you're completely omitting like the whole part where Bomber tries to break down the door and screaming in the hallway. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Going out of character for a brief moment, but wait, not even break down the door and scream out the hall. Oh no, this part was a blur actually, to me as a player actually.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you get the door open for you by
Nets.
Nets. Where's Joe?
From what I know, Joe is still down at the bottom of the apartment building, like you said.
So wait, Joe's banging on the door, and Nets opens the door, and now Joe's at the bottom of the apartment building.
Yeah, because he said he ran down to the bottom of the apartment building after Nets closed the door on him.
Right.
And he told me to wait there, and then after a little bit, like I don't know, I'd say about 10, 15 minutes, Nets opened the door, told me to come in, look around and such, and then a couple about a minute maybe, Bomber runs in and then starts then Nets and Joe start having an argument, and then they start fighting. And
So wait. Who's Bomber?
Bomber is actually Joe. Though Bomber is actually a nickname from what I know. Bomber is actually his nickname. I'm not really sure what his real name is though. I apologize, officer. I should have just mentioned him as a Bomber before.
What are you doing to this poor officer?
Oh my god, he's gonna kill himself. This officer's just like, he's sitting there going, it's my last week on the job. I'm gonna kill myself if it's my last case.
Listen, officer, I'm real sorry if I cause like am I a major inconvenience to you and such.
If I'm a major inconvenience to you.
Right. Okay. So why don't we do it like this?
All right.
Why don't I have one of these guys, these nice gentlemen, take you to somewhere quiet, and we'll give you a pen and some paper, and you just write down what happened.
Oh yes!
All right,
Yes!
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh
shit!
I'm not sure if that's a good
Finish
idea,
teaching
officer.
them.
I don't exactly know how to write either. Or read. I have a question about the camera though.
I'm sorry.
Was there a camera outside the corridor where we probably been at?
Yeah, there's cameras all over the station.
Wait, so we would have known that.
Wait, what? Where were you asking
No.
about corridor?
I'm asking about the camera that was at the corridor. They saw that the girl came into her front door and never came out. However, why is the officer was asking me what happened there, but he already would have gotten the evidence in the camera.
So basically, like, if this is the apartment building, and these are the floors, yep, and Amanda lives here on this floor.
Yeah.
And
so there's a camera outside the front of the apartment building, but not inside the corridors, is there?
This is the camera, basically. This.
I love it.
Oh,
None of the
alright,
drawings are
that's-
showing up for me, even though I'm hosting.
Yeah, they all showed up in a different spot for me.
Troy's been a proponent.
Okay, so the guy just looks at you for a bit. And he goes, right. So you can't write
Or read.
or read.
Why does Nets have to be the smart mouth here?
What do you, I haven't said anything. Especially not as
No,
Nets in the first little bit. Like,
So,
what do you mean, why do I have to be the smart mouth here?
So the guy goes, right. Well, I tell you what. I'll have one of our boys find you a dictaphone.
Alright.
You take as long as you need. You think about it nice and slow. And then you give me a play-by-play in your own words of what happened.
Exactly. Alright.
Excellent. And Vagabond gets led off to a cell with a toilet and a bed and gets given a dictaphone. So this carries on for some time. Bomber and Nets get pulled out into interrogation rooms, get asked to give their version of the story, get asked to repeat it. It's pretty standard police procedure. Basically, police procedure is get people to tell the story over and over again until one of them forgets something if it's a lie. And if you get people to tell the story over and over again, sooner or later, the mistakes are going to start cropping up. But you all talk such complete and utter fucking nonsense, it makes no sense anyway. So it's painful to try and do it. But it carries on for a while.
Well,
So-
let's be honest. What happened was complete and utter nonsense.
Yes.
From
yes,
an outside, completely by itself perspective, what happened was nonsensical shenanigans.
So you've had a couple of hours to rest, which means Toad take off another couple of points of non-lethal damage. It's basically non-lethal damage is recovered as a function of your level. You have level 1. Every hour you recover 1 non-lethal damage. So it's now roughly kind of like 10 o'clock in the morning.
And since we're done our interrogations for now, and we're another 45 minutes in, I think it's another good spot for our break, and we can continue on.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, please go into this other cell and write down everything for us. Sorry, officer, I can't.
Yeah, I haven't finished teaching him yet.
Oh, I was just like, if he tried, it would have been like letters superseded for other letters, and it would have been beautiful.